Hello, bachas. Welcome back to the channel, the F in Physics, where the F in Physics stands for fun. Now, this is the revision lecture on radioactivity. So, the topic is divided into three major parts. Part 1 being everything about an element. Part 2 being how an element converts into another element, that is radioactive decay. Part 3 being the half-life. ठीक है, so let's talk about the introduction, that is atoms and element. So we know that an atom is made up of protons, neutrons and electrons. When I talk about protons and neutrons, they are present in the nucleus, while electrons are present in the outermost orbit. Okay, you need to remember that whenever there's a question that reads nucleus, you are only going to speak about protons and neutrons. But if there is a question that talks about an atom, they ask you sometimes, they will give you an element and they will talk about the structure of the nucleus, or they will talk about the structure of the atom. So if it is specifically nucleus, you will only talk about protons and neutrons, but if they have mentioned atoms, then you will include the number of electrons as well. Okay, so when I talk about protons and neutrons, they are heavy compared to the electrons. Now, mass of proton is considered to be 1 atomic mass unit. So this is a different unit compared to kilograms, because kilograms becomes very heavy when I talk about subatomic particles. So we have mass of protons as 1 U. So 1 proton corresponds to 1 U, which is 1 mass unit or atomic mass unit. 2 protons will correspond to 2 U. तो जितने protons होते हैं उतना times U उनका mass होता है. 1 neutron also carries a similar mass, which is 1 U. Electrons we consider to be negligible mass. The charge on proton. 1 proton carries a charge of plus 1 E. E is the elementary charge. Okay, where 1 E corresponds to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Neutron we say is neutral, while electron carries a charge of minus 1 E. So the charge on proton and electron magnitude wise is the same, but in terms of the charge that they carry, it's opposite. Protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged. ठीक है, जितना चार्ज प्रोटॉन का है मैग्नीट्यूड वाइज, उतना ही चार्ज इलेक्ट्रॉन का भी है. नाउ बिकॉज इट इज ओनली प्रोटॉन्स एंड न्यूट्रॉन्स दैट कैरी मास नंबर would be the mass of proton and the mass of neutron, or number of protons plus number of neutrons. Why number? क्योंकि एक प्रोटॉन का मास हमने कंसिडर किया है to be 1 U. So if there are 3 protons, the mass is 3 U. Same goes for neutron. And this is represented with the letter A. Then the next term you need to know about is proton number. Okay, this is the number of protons, and for a neutral atom the proton number will be equal to electron number, and this is represented with Z or Z. Then you have neutron number. You need to know these terms because these terms are important when you do the decay process. So you are going to recall these terms. So neutron number is the number of neutrons. This is represented by capital N, and the relation between A, Z and N is mass number is proton number plus neutron number. Okay, you are going to recall this when you do alpha decay and beta decay. Okay, so this is what you need to know about atoms and element. So if there's any element X, how do you represent it? You always go from A to Z in physics. Or remember, so sometimes in chemistry you go from Z to A as well. Remember, जो भी ज़्यादा है that is going to be the mass number. Okay, so your A is always going to be greater than Z. This is what you need to know. Now there are few atoms which have the same proton number. Okay, so same proton number, but they have different mass number, and such atoms are called as isotopes of each other. So they have the same proton number but different mass number. Now remember, because they have the same proton number, they will have the same position in the periodic table, or they are placed in the same place in the periodic table. Like मैं हाइड्रोजन का एग्जाम्पल लेता हूँ. ओके, हाइड्रोजन के 3 आइसोटोप्स होते हैं, ठीक है, और तीनों एक ही जगह पे प्लेस होते हैं. सो देयर इज़ नो डिफरेंट पोजिशंस or different places rather in the periodic table for isotopes. Okay, now why are we learning about isotopes? Because not all isotopes are stable. So these isotopes may be stable or they are unstable. Stable है तो very good, but if it is unstable, remember everything in a universe will try to achieve stability. So even these radioactive isotopes try to achieve stability, and they do this by undergoing nuclear processes. Okay, so 3 ways. या तो वो अल्फा डीके के थ्रू स्टेबिलिटी गेन करेगा, और इट विल अंडरगो बीटा डीके, and then you have gamma decay. Okay, where alpha decay is when you have 2 protons and 2 neutrons given out from the nucleus. Remember, when I am talking about radioactivity, it is a nuclear phenomenon. जो भी चीज़ें होंगी वो सब न्यूक्लियस के अंदर होगी, which means you will only talk about protons and neutrons during the decay process. Okay, ये होता क्यों है? Because of the large difference in number of protons and neutrons. The more I'm so sorry, as you go to higher level, that is where you will understand why the decay process happens. Decay process कब होगा? We don't know when the decay process will begin. Okay, it might begin today, it might begin tomorrow, it might begin after thousands of years. You cannot predict. How will it happen? Which nucleus will undergo decay? क्योंकि जब आपको एक piece of uranium मिलेगा, there will be billions of atoms. Which atom or which nucleus will undergo decay, you cannot predict. इसके लिए radioactivity is said to be spontaneous and random. Okay, so this is what you need to know. इसके लिए बेटा radioactivity or the decay curve which is there, it's not a straight line, it's a curve. Okay, so all these things we'll see further as we go on. But remember, radioactivity is a spontaneous process and it's a random process. You cannot predict when it will begin, neither can you predict which nucleus will undergo decay. However, I know that there are 3 ways: alpha, beta and gamma decay. Okay, when I talk about alpha decay, because it's a nuclear process, I'm only talking about protons and neutrons. So whenever there is an alpha decay happening, it means from the nucleus 2 protons and 2 neutrons are given out together. This is very similar to the structure of helium nucleus. Since it has 2 protons, charge is +2 because each proton carries a positive charge. And the mass number is the sum of protons and neutrons as we saw earlier. So the mass becomes 4. Matlab you have a nucleus which is undergoing decay. After the decay process, the new nucleus formed, जिसको हम बोलते हैं daughter nuclei. This will have 2 less protons and 2 less neutrons, which means bachas, your mass number will decrease by 4 and the proton number will decrease by 2. This is what you need to know about alpha decay. Apart from this, you should know that alpha particles are positively charged, or rather the decay product में the alpha particle which is given out will have a positive charge. How much positive charge? A charge of plus 2e. Just don't write that alpha particles carry a positive charge. आपको लिखना है कितना positive charge as well. So plus 2e. Now remember, alpha particles का mass is 4u. So they are heavy. Because they are heavy, they cannot travel as fast as light. So they travel the slowest compared to beta and gamma. So I'm writing they're slow compared to beta and gamma. Now because they are slow and because they carry mass, they interact more with the air particles around. So as these alpha particles move, there are air particles around, they collide with them, and these electrons from the air particles are knocked off. इस प्रोसेस को हम बोलते हैं ionization. So because alpha particles spend more time in air or more time with the air particles, because they are slow, they have high ionizing power. तो उनका ionizing effect बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. Okay, because of which the electrons which are knocked off gains energy. Now you know energy cannot be created from anywhere, which means alpha particles are giving some part of their energy to the electrons which are knocked off. So alpha particles keep losing energy at a high rate, because of which they cannot penetrate through things. So alpha particles का penetrating power is very less. Are we clear? And because they keep losing energy, they cannot travel a very long distance. So they travel a short range in air. So this is what you need to know about alpha particles. Apart from this, yes, because they carry a positive charge, they will get deflected in electric and magnetic field. So this is everything that you need to know about alpha particles. Now moving on to beta decay. Okay, now beta decay is when one neutron gets converted to one proton. ये क्यों होता है? When you do the quark theory, then you will understand. So you have a nucleus जिसमें से एक न्यूट्रॉन है that gets converted to one proton. Now there is something fishy. See, न्यूट्रॉन का चार्ज होता है 0, मास होता है 1. प्रोटॉन का मास है 1, इसका चार्ज भी है बेटा +1. Any radioactive decay happens, your charge and mass both needs to be conserved. मतलब इसके साथ I need something जिसका mass 0 हो and charge is -1. And this is your beta particle or electron. So beta particles are fast moving electrons which are ejected from the nucleus. So I'll just write this down. So they are fast moving electrons which travel almost with the speed of light. Now because it is one neutron getting converted to a proton, your proton number, okay, first I'll write down about the mass number. So your mass number remains the same and your proton number will increase by 1. Okay, ये कैसे होगा? Let's assume you have a packet of chocolate. There are 10 eclairs and 10 pulses. ठीक है, एक मैजिशियन आया, उसने कुछ मैजिक किया. बाय द वे, इसका टोटल नंबर ऑफ चॉकलेट्स इज 20. मैजिशियन आया, मैजिक किया, उसने एक एक्लेयर को पल्स में कन्वर्ट कर दिया. सो नाउ योर नंबर ऑफ एक्लेयर बिकम्स 9 एंड योर नंबर ऑफ पल्सेस बिकम 11. आपके पास 9 एक्लेयर चॉकलेट बची और 11 पल्स हो गई, तो आपका एक नंबर ऑफ चॉकलेट बढ़ गया, राइट? हाउएवर द टोटल नंबर ऑफ चॉकलेट स्टिल रिमेन्स 20. So this is what you need to remember, that yes, there is a conversion of neutron to proton. आपका एक न्यूट्रॉन कम हो गया पर एक प्रोटॉन भी तो बढ़ गया, तो आपका ओवरऑल मास remains the same. It's just that one proton increases. तो डॉटर का जो प्रोटॉन नंबर है वो 1 से बढ़ जाएगा. Okay, we'll see an example later. Now, because beta particles are fast moving electrons, they carry a charge, and they carry a charge of -1 e. And because they are very light, they travel fast compared to alpha, but still slow compared to gamma. Now, because they travel fast and they have less mass, they will have low ionizing power, which means they will lose less energy, and hence they have high penetrating power. And because they don't lose energy compared to alpha, they will have a larger range than alpha, but still a shorter range than gamma. Since they have charge, they will get deflected in electric and magnetic field. So this is what you need to know about beta particles. Gamma decay, you need to remember कि alpha and beta are actual particles. वो matter है. But when I talk about gamma, it's energy. Okay, so it belongs to electromagnetic radiation. So they will ask you what is or describe a gamma ray, or what is a gamma ray. So you will write these are electromagnetic radiations, okay, having high frequency, or you can say low wavelength. This you have studied in light topic. Okay, then because it's energy, none of it will remain, or none of it will change, which means your mass number and your proton number will remain the same. Okay, so they do not carry any charge. Matter नहीं है, ये energy है, so no charge. They are the fastest. They travel with the speed of light. You have learned this. They have the least ionizing power, and they have the highest penetrating power. Remember, ionizing power or penetrating power are inversely proportional. Okay, they have the largest range in air, and because they carry no charge, they are undeflected or undeviated in electric and magnetic field. Now we take an example. We take couple of examples. So let's assume एक nucleus है A and 231 and 98. This is undergoing an alpha decay to change to B. Let me not write B, let me write C, क्योंकि B से आप confuse हो गए. ठीक है. Now I know alpha का charge होता है +2 and mass होता है 4, which means 231 में से 4 निकल गया. So I am left with 227. Okay, remember the mass on the left and on the right should turn out to be the same. इसको हम बोलते हैं law of conservation of mass. Now if I look at the bottom where I have my proton number, remember proton number also represents a charge. तो यहाँ पे charge है मेरा +98. On the right I have 2. So to balance the charge on the left, this has to be 96. Do I need to write the plus sign? नहीं, ये सिर्फ explanation के लिए था. Okay, so radioactive decays do obey law of conservation of charge, mass, energy, spin, momentum, everything. But we are only looking at charge and mass for now. So this is what happens in alpha decay. If I give you another example, example 2. Okay, let's assume P 190 and 78 gets converted to Q by giving out a beta particle. So I know beta means electrons, which means charge -1 and mass 0. So if I try to balance the masses first, on the left I have 190, right में 0, which means this is 100% going to be 190. But now if I have to balance my charges, left side पे मेरे पास है 78 plus 78 charge, right side पे है -1. So to balance this, If I write 77, then 77 minus 1 becomes 76, which is wrong. So I cannot write 77 or anything less than 78. So to balance it, I need to write 79, which means बेटा आपका एक प्रोटॉन बढ़ गया. वो कहाँ से आया? वो आया एक न्यूट्रॉन से. ठीक है? Which also is the reason why this beta particle is given out. And that is what we have learned in beta decay, right? हमने beta decay में लिखा ना that you have one neutron getting converted to a proton. So proton number should increase by 1. So this is what they will give you. Either you will have to fill up the complete equation or they will give you blank spaces and you have to fill them up. Depending upon the question, you will write the answer. But remember, any decay, the mass number and the charge should be conserved. So this is how the nucleus decays. Now, how much sample will be left at what time? That is predicted by half-life. Okay. So if I have to define half-life, few keywords are very important in this definition. It is the time taken. Remember, half-life का मतलब कितना count नहीं है. Lot of kids are mistaken. Half-life has to do with time. So it is the time taken for a radioactive nucleus to reduce to half of its initial count. Okay, very important. Time taken, radioactive nucleus and half of the initial count. These terms are very important. So this is how you define half-life. Now there are two ways to find out half-life of a substance. उसके पहले एक example लेते हैं. I'll take my favorite example. Let's talk about Thanos. Let's take an example that there is some planet X. Okay, there is a planet X जिसका population है I'll take easy number 120. छोटा सा planet है, सिर्फ 120 लोग रहते हैं. Thanos comes in and Thanos visits this planet very frequently. How frequently? Every 2 years. So Thanos has this habit of snapping after every 2 years. And we know when Thanos snaps, the population decreases by 2. Correct? Which means beta, let's assume first snap Thanos ने किया 2020 में, second snap होगा 2022 में, third होगा 2024 में, then होगा 2026 में. Let's assume 2020 पे, which is my initial count, population है 120. 2022 में कितना हो जाएगा? After he snaps, the count will reduce by 2, so it becomes 60. 2024 में कितना हो जाएगा? 30, then 15, then 7.5 and so on. बड़ा easy फंडा है. Thanos comes after every 2 years, he snaps. The same thing you need to apply for half-life. Okay, वो लोग एक time देंगे, they will give you a certain time, they will give you the original count. You just have to keep dividing the original count by 2, or you need to multiply the final count by 2 for a certain number of times. How many times? Either twice, thrice or 4 times, depending upon what the data is. Okay, इसको ज़रा देखते हैं वापस, थोड़े डिटेल में देखते हैं. बट बिफोर दैट रिमेंबर माई हाफ लाइफ कैलकुलेशन और फाइंडिंग द हाफ लाइफ कैन ईदर बी डन बाय कैलकुलेशन और यूजिंग अ ग्राफ. ग्राफ वाला सबसे ईजी होता है. नहीं, एक्चुअली तीनों ईजी है. सो कैलकुलेशन में बेटा यू नीड टू फिगर आउट अ सर्टेन थिंग्स. ओके, आपको इनिशियल काउंट देखना है. दीज आर द टर्म्स यू नीड टू फिगर आउट. इनिशियल काउंट, दे विल गिव यू टोटल टाइम. सेकेंड टर्म, they will give you half life, time for half life. and most of the time you'll have to find the final count. For example, let's assume some radioactive element X has initial count of 260, or rather let me make it 280 with some unit, counts per second, counts per minute, counts per hours, counts per years. ठीक है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. So don't stress about the unit. They will give you beta, find the count left after 90 years, and half-life is, let's assume, 30 years. So if I break it down beta, my initial count given to me is 280, or you can just pause the video and fill this, identify what's given. So going ahead, my initial count given is 280, total time given is 90 years, and they have given me half-life which is 30 years. पहला चीज़ आपको ये आइडेंटिफाई करनी है व्हाट्स गिवन टू यू. सर डू आई नीड टू राइट इट डाउन एज द फॉर्म ऑफ डेटा? यू डोंट नीड टू. ठीक है, अपने दिमाग में ये कर लेना. देन बेटा, फर्स्ट स्टेप इज यू नीड टू काउंट हाउ मेनी हाफ लाइफ्स आर प्रेजेंट इन 90 ईयर्स. सो वन हाफ लाइफ इज 30 ईयर्स. सो बेटा 90 ईयर्स में आई विल हैव 3 हाफ लाइफ्स, विच मीन्स दिस सैम्पल 280 you need to divide by 2 3 times. Why? Because this is like, ये planet का population है. Thanos is snapping after every 30 years. How much will be the population left after 90 years? So you can compare it. मतलब हर 30 years में वो snap कर रहा है, तो 90 years तक उसने 3 बार snap कर चुका है. Sir, original count will reduce by 2 3 times. So 280 upon 2 becomes 140, divided by 2 becomes 70, divided by 2 becomes how much? 35. बड़ा easy सा फंडा है. Okay, they can twist and turn, but the logic will remain the same. ठीक है? Then we move on to the next part. Let me just delete this. Half-life by graph. So again there are 2 ways over here. Actually यहाँ पे ना थोड़ा सा चीज़ें कॉम्प्लेक्स होती है. One would be without background radiation, and the other one would be in presence of background radiation. You can have calculation में भी background radiation. फंडा सेम है, मैं यहाँ पे एक्सप्लेन करूँगा. First thing, if the graph is without a background radiation, बड़ा सिंपल से ग्राफ होगा, क्यूट लुकिंग ग्राफ. सारे ग्राफ्स ऐसे ही होंगे. एक्चुअली नो वेट, थोड़ा गलत हो गया. ऐसे. ओके, सो ये होगा आपका इनिशियल काउंट. फर्स्ट चीज यू नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई इज इनिशियल काउंट. वो कैसे मिलेगा? दिस इज योर इनिशियल काउंट. ओके, लेट्स अज्यूम दिस इज अगेन 280. सो whenever they give you a graph without background radiation, you will identify the initial count. So my initial count is 280. You don't need to write this, just remember. Now I know beta what is half-life. It's the time taken to reduce to half of its count. So half of my initial count becomes half of 280, which is 140. So you will look for 140. Where 140 is? Let's assume 140 is over here. Then take a rule, drop a perpendicular down on the x-axis. X-axis पे होगा आपका time. Whatever time is shown at this point, that is your half-life. ठीक है? This is how you find half-life without background radiation. With background radiation, things are थोड़ा सा complex. Okay, first thing, identify the graph. अगर they have not mentioned the background radiation in the question, then your graph would not end, which means it will show you a constant value. This is how you say whether there is background radiation present or no. पुराना वाला ग्राफ कैसा था? ऐसे. बैकग्राउंड रेडिएशन हुआ तो इट विल कंटिन्यू. कितना है बैकग्राउंड रेडिएशन काउंट? This value is your background radiation count. Okay, let's take numerical values. So this is my initial count, which is, let's assume 280, and this value is 20. So beta, this 280 that you have, the first count, the initial count, this is of the sample along with background radiation. ये जो 280 है previously was only of the sample, but यहाँ पे बेटा background radiation भी present है. How do I know? This line over here, the constant value. It means मेरा sample has stopped peaking, but then my detector is still detecting some radiations which is coming from the surrounding. Sources क्या है? It might be the rocks or the walls around. It might be trees, radon gas. ठीक है, all these are the sources of background radiation. So this 280 is my sample count along with background radiation. So only sample count would be 280 minus background radiation, which is 280 minus 20, which comes out to be 260. Now again I go back to the definition of half-life. क्या था? Time taken for the sample to reduce by half, which means 260 upon 2, this gives you 130. This is where kids go wrong. 130 आया, they will jump to 130. Remember, the moment you are looking at 130, you are looking at sample and background radiation, which means if you look at only 130, तो sample count आपका आएगा 110, which you don't want. Your sample count should represent 130, which means you should not look at directly 130 because the graph has background radiation. So to this 130, you will add background radiation again for you to use the graph. So it becomes 150. So you jump on to 150 now, because जब आप ये 150 पे देख रहे हो तब आपका sample count आता है 130, because 20 जो amount है that is of background radiation. So now you look at 150 and you look at the time. If the question is in MCQs, purposely they will give you time for 130 as an option, because they know kids forget to add the background radiation at the end. This is one way of doing this question, okay, where you first find out sample and background radiation count, then you subtract background radiation, you get the count of sample, you divide the sample by half, and then you add background radiation again. There is one more way. You take sample count plus background radiation, जो मेरा original count है 280, to this you add background radiation again. So 280 में मैं add कर दिया कितना? 20, which gives me 300. Then you divide this 300 by 2, you get 150, and you directly look for the time at 150 counts. Either of the ways will give you the correct answer. Okay, I'll prefer this. Depends on you. आपको जो method अच्छा लगता है, जो easy लगता है वो करिए. Okay, so this is everything about radioactivity, बच्चास, that you should know. Thank you.